All right, guys, we have the bad news as today or yesterday. The HBO Family is officially shut down after 29 years because since Warner Bros. Company was decided to shut it down all this channel along with the multiplex channels like mostly from Cinemax decided to move away to the multiplex channels that Warner Bros. Discovery was not happy, especially David Zaslav. Yeah, the infamous David Zaslav decided move away and decide for the past few years, like just like did with the cancel and tax write-off movies like Cody vs. Acme and as well as the Scoop Holiday Hunt and Batgirl too because the reason Warner Bros. Discovery was maybe the end of the era for co- company as a whole, and you're going to be split. He announced we're going to be split two companies like did with NBC Universal and Comcast split with cable channels off. The Warner Brothers, another was Discovery Global. But not even the Paramount Skydance were not splitting cable channels off because he retained the company because since Paramount Skydance merger was probably completed for now and it's now under Paramount Skydance Corporation, and we decided not split these companies. Before that, I was boycott Paramount Skydance because of reasons. It got a lot of controversies. We got a lawsuit settlement with Donald Trump and 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 Paramount Global, which was a predecessor name, and supposed to cancel a few shows like the Tiny Show and the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, but then changed their mind and say, let's not boycott anymore. It'd be fine. We're not doing like a Warner Bros. Discovery all over again, but nevertheless, this problem with Warner Bros. Discovery was decided to move away. Like he, in the wake of the splitting two companies, the other was the split off in the cable channels, mostly like this channel is pretty mostly on like Cartoon Network, CNN, and TNT, and a lot of others. We're now on the handled by Discovery. So here's an article for Variety 2 months ago. He said HBO Family, Fear Max, and other multiplex channels will be a shutdown by the Warner Bros. Discovery. As the MO leaves the HBO Family, so Family. That's a terrible move. The spin-off channel was launched in December 1996 as a more kid-friendly and family-friendly version of HBO Family will be shut down on August 15 as part of this launch strategy by Warner Bros. Discovery and to pare down the large collection of their multiplex channel, the Force Edition liner channels, and that are usually include the price of the HBO and Cinemax subscription. I think I mentioned the Sesame Street deal like back in 2015 when um, that I think the Warner Sesame's Workshop and partner with Sunny Deal with Warner Brothers to airing Sesame's Workshop content and in between 2015 to 2020, but unfortunately the deal expired because pandemic and eventually continued relationship with Warner Media, later Warner Bros. Discovery, until 25 years later when decided they ended in the deal expired from Warner Brothers Discovery to signed a multi-year deal with Netflix and were made by PBS in kits because in the wake of the loss of public media funding was pretty much the where because of probably in shifting like PBS was pretty much ended entirely, like, especially the corporation for public broadcasting was pretty much discontinued, shut down, and to do because of Trump. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue our and PBS HBO Family was a more family friendly channel, like appear like a different kind of audience. Like it's focused like a kid centric program. The per Warner Media and Warner Brothers and especially parent company Warner Brothers Discovery was more appeared to. So let's continue on. And besides cutting HBO Family, WBD also plans to cease operations on the Cinemax multiplex channels for Max, Movie Max, and other Max. Details have been pared down in the first reporting this week by Cold Cutter News, which is become a favorite when Spectral alerting considers that effect on and after August 15th HBO Max HBO Family, Cinemax, Movie Max, and other Max will cease programming will no longer be available. Variety has since confirmed the news. Linear premiere channels had been hit of a major viewership decline as audience shift to streaming. When the majority of the HBO original series viewership can be now be the soon to rename HBO Max, formerly Max, then HBO Max, and the newly relaunched HBO Max. As of course, they decided to cut these networks. Comes to this Warner Bros. Discovery themselves announced plans to this week to cut the company in half with a linear basic cable networks moving to the new spin-off entity. HBO isn't part of that spin-off. Mostly Multiplex channels as relaunch of movies and a fair for mothership. HBO Family aired the original programming under doing its lifetime. However, in the recent years, as HBO has removed the kids programming for the main lineup, all of the channel's children's programming and family specials could be found on HBO Family. Per in it, HBO Family lineup did not include R-rated and TVMA programming. Now, I probably know that the programming mostly kid-friendly programming, like unlike HBO's other channels are focused more towards like different kind of formats. HBO continues to offer several more multiplex channels, including HBO 2, HBO Signature, HBO Comedy, HBO Zone, and HBO Latino. As for the Cinemax channels that be shut down, Thriller Max, which is run horror and thriller films, launched in 1998. Movie Max, talking to younger viewers, first premiere in 2001 as W Max, and Other Max was focused on the sci-fi and fantasy, launched in 2001 with the same year. HBO continued to progress in the multiplex channels, more Max, Action Max, Five Star Max, and of course Cinemax mainline channel. So that's it. This is the end of the era. HBO Family and other multiplex channels on Cinemax was come to the close for good because of God help us, David Zaslav, CEO of Warner Brothers. It's a shame that Warner Brothers is no longer at the. Okay. Sorry, I was doing the yawning many times by recording this video, but I can say I'm shamed on David Zaslav because I trust Paramount, Skydance, and other media related comedies, but Warner Brothers Discovery it wasn't. It was a least media company that pretty much since Disney heyday, led by Michael Eisner, and now David Zaslav become the new David Michael Eisner, and that's so what Paramount Skydance Corporation did not. David Edison is not David Zaslav. He's fine. I know that people complain that he's a Trump supporter, but he did not. As for her sister Megan Edison, who run Annapurna Pictures, has to do with that. So because because I don't know that HBO Family and other mainline channels, mostly from Cinemax like Max, Movie Max, and other Max, was pretty much come to the ending because of Project Trust. David Sasser destroyed everything from since day one over Warner Bros. Discovery. So I don't trust Warner Bros. Discovery. I trust Paramount Skydance as a whole. So sad to see that yesterday the HBO Family was come to the end and focus liner or back to HBO and the streaming service HBO Max. So and the legacy of HBO Max will live on. No, actually HBO Family and other line multiplex channels putting on Cinemax, Max, other Movie Max, other Max will live on. If you probably check on YouTube and all those all like other stream on the content. So mostly for promos and logo IDs and stuff. So I wish I missed because the Sesame Street program was come to the close of the end of the deal, 10-year deal, I think, or for Warner Bros. Discovery is now towards on Netflix and continuing airing on PBS Kids despite the loss of the further funding of public media. So, but led by Trump, of course. So, but I really think that I think HBO Family was pretty much was a long story short was continuation of the cable TV channels of my closing because of low viewership and the streaming gone higher ship. So yeah, rest in peace HBO Family, and so Max, other Max, and Movie Max. So and shame on you, David Sassoff. You need to quiet hot. You need to fire, or else you'll be a boycott Warner Bros. Entirely. So there. Anyway, rest in peace, HBO Family, and those other like multiplex channels. I always continue airing the family-friendly content over on HBO Max, and I hope to see what be better in some point in the near future. So farewell, HBO Family. We'll be we not now you New Year. Thank you and good night.